Ever since we was on, I dreamed it all. Ever since I was young, they said I won't be nothing. Now they always say congratulations. Work so hard for that whole true vacation. They ain't never had the dedication. I want 'em hard and I want all the love. All my tears.
My dick cost a
Traveling on this road too long. Just trying to find my way back home. The old me is dead and gone, dead and gone.
I'm more than a bird, I'm more than a plane, I'm more than some pretty face beside a train, and it's not easy to be me.
And I've been traveling on this road too long. Just trying to find my way back home. The old me is dead and gone.
To be me.
Look, if you had one shot, would you capture it or just let it slip? Yo. His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti, he's nervous, but on the surface he looks calm and ready to drop bombs. But he keeps on forgetting what he wrote down. The whole crowd goes so loud, he opens his mouth, but the words won't come out. He's choking how? Everybody's choking now. The clock's run out, time's up, over, plow. Snap back to reality, oh, there goes gravity. Oh, there goes gravity, choke. He's so mad, but he won't give up, daddies, he know. He won't have it, he knows. His whole back to these ropes, it don't matter, he's dope. He knows that, but he's broke. He's so stacked that he knows when he goes back to this mobile home, that's when it's back to the lab again, yo. This old rhapsody better go capture this moment and hope it don't pass. You better lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You better never let it go. You only get one shot, do not miss a chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better lose yourself, 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 yourself.
Bobby is free.
Bitch, I'm stylish. Black top, big t-shirt, really ice. Watch on my wrist, but I want that dime. Niggas talk crazy when I pull up in sight. Mile high, run that shit back, bitch, I'm stylish. Black top, big t-shirt, really ice. Watch on my wrist, but I want that dime. Niggas talk crazy when I pull up in sight. Ay, mile high, fuck up, ay.
I won't let your love ever go to waste. I won't ever do that to you. You're always the start of my better days. Your gravity is pulling me through. And tell me that you know that. Tell me that you know that. Know that. I can't change the way that I feel for you. That's just the way it is. Hope this don't ever change. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is.
down. Yo, this your body, you put in my heart for lockdown, oh lockdown. Yo, you sweet life, phantom, phantom. If I tell you say I love you, you know they for me young girl, oh young girl. No tell me no, 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 oh, 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 oh. Baby, come give me your lo, 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 oh, 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 oh. Baby, calm down.
Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still Jenny from the block. Used to have a little, now I have a lot. No matter where I go, I know where I came from. Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still Jenny from the block. Used to have a little, now I have a lot. No matter where I go, I know where I came from. Feel like I'm in Prince's house, put paint on the walls, Sitting down on this fancy couch and I can't see straight, I'ma stay, 22, I'm in Paris, baby, got strippers' tits in my face, Roll up in a Bentley, I'm a Christian, I'm Fendi, I'm a Prada.
So rock me, mama, like a wag on a wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me. Rock me, mama, like the wind and the rain. Rock me, mama, like a southbound train. Hey. One, two, three, four.
I go hard in the motherfucking paint, nigga. Then you stank it, nigga. What the fuck you thinking, nigga? I won't die for this shit or what the fuck I said. Front yard, broad day with the SK. I go hard in the motherfucking paint, nigga. Then you stank it, nigga. What the fuck you thinking, nigga? I won't die for this shit or what the fuck I said. Front yard, broad day with the SK.
These words are my own, got my heart flowing. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. There's no other way to better say I love you. But you've gotta make your own kind of music, sing your own special song, make your own kind of music, even if nobody else sings along. These words are my own, got my heart flowing. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. There's no other way to better say I love you. But you gotta make your own kind of music. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you.
I think I'm looking forward to cracking up.
I come back, go. Tell me all the ways you need me. I'm not here now. Catch me or I go. Houdini, I come then I go. Prove you got the right to please me. Everybody knows. Catch me or I go. Houdini.
If you wanna go and take a ride with me, get pretty women in the phone with the go easy. So ride, get it so
I fly like paper, get high like planes. If you catch me at the border, I got visas in my name. If you come around here, I'll make them all day. I get one down in a second if you want. I fly like paper, get high like planes. If you catch me at the border, I got visas in my name. If you come around here, I'll make them all day. I get one down in a second if you want.
One beer turns into a lit cigarette, burning into a 2-beer buzz. 3 beers turns into 5, then 6, then a love drunk kiss in the back of that truck. Just like that, everything rearranges. Life changes out of the blues. Just a polite, but ain't it funny what one beer can turn into?
Somebody call 911. Shawty fire burning on the dance floor. Ooh, oh, I gotta cool her down. She won't bring the roof to ground on the dance floor. Ooh, oh.
Who is my life? Don't you forget. It's my life. It never ends.
She's fire burning on the dance floor.
Who is my life?
Fire burning on the dance
It
floor.
never ends. Who is my life?
Somebody call 911. Oh, I can hear 'em playing. I can hear the ringing of a beatable guitar. Oh, I can hear 'em singing. Keep on dreaming, even if it breaks your heart.
I'll be up and away, cause they gon' trust me anyway, so whatever. I'll be up and away, cause let me in there, trust me anyway, so whatever.
Oh, I can hear 'em playing. I can hear the ringing of a beatable guitar.
I'll be up and away, cause they gon' trust me anyway.
My favorite type of weed was cocaine.
Where is my mind? 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 Where is my mind?
So I miss him some nights when I'm feeling depressed. Till I remember every time he made a pass on my friend. Do I love him? Do I hate him? I guess it's up and down. If I had to choose, I would say it right now. If I wanna get it back, oh, I really just wanna make him feel bad. Oh, I wanna get it back. 'Cause I can't really miss him and it makes me real sad. Oh, I want your sweet revenge. I want him again. Release your inhibitions. Feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you.
secret melody twilight, lead me out on the moonlit floor. Lift your open hand, strike up the band, make the fireflies dance, silver moon sparkling.
Except for that first night, the two kids under that moonlight. We ate McDonald's at midnight. We became the best of friends.
So kiss me.
I remember our first time. We lost alone in that morning. I was so hungover, I never thought that our roads led to this.
So kiss me.
Can we not kiss?
I'm picking out this dress, trying on these shoes, 'cause I'll be single soon, I'll be single soon. I know we'll be up next when I break the news, but I'll be single soon, I'll be single soon.
Hey, girl, you got me way too high. Took too much, but I'll be fine. 'Cause I don't mind tripping on you. No, I don't mind tripping on you. Falling in the summertime, like you got my shoes untied. But I don't mind tripping on you. No, I don't mind tripping on you. Ooh, don't be like that. Ooh, why you gotta leave like that? Goddamn, I'ma be right there. Tell me what you think at night. You lost your love, but you still got mine. I'll find it wherever it's hiding. And we could stay out all damn night, chasing love and wasting time. I'll find it wherever it's hiding. I'll find it wherever it's hiding.
Make me sweat, make me harder, make me lose my breath, make me water, make me sweat, make me harder, make me lose my breath, make me water.
Beverly Hills, that's where I want to be.
Gimme.
Living in Beverly Hills, Beverly Hills, rolling like a celebrity.
Gimme.
Living in Beverly Hills.
Make me sweat, make me harder, make me lose my breath, make me water.
Beverly Hills, that's where I want to be.
Quiet! Coach is right! Shut the fuck up!
I'm telling you to loosen up my buttons, babe. But you keep running on, say what you gon' do to me. But I ain't seen nothing. I'm telling you to loosen up my buttons, babe. But you keep running on, say what you gon' do to me. But I ain't seen nothing. I'm telling you.
All my life, they be trying to keep me down. All this time, never thought I'd make it out.
Oops, I did it again. I played with your heart, got lost in this game. Oh baby, baby. Oops, you think I'm in love? I'm sent from above. I'm not that innocent. Oh baby, baby.
Sure is honestly the best.
I love Tradecaster.
Happy Saturday, everybody. Just a friendly reminder.
Over the past 12 months, how much money did you make day trading using your strategy?
551,000.
That kind of money, it's like you know what you're doing.
Sean knows his stuff. So this is exactly how I did it.
Perfect.
I want everyone to go trade.
Go! Let's go! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Anything else?
It wasn't pleasant. That was during lunch hours.
Take some pictures.
Now we're up $1,200! We got some action right here. $2,000, $760.
If I tell you how I was able to do this, go out and make that money, you make a killing.
Can we start getting ourselves in the green somehow? Get it, people! A bot sell man making HUDI $1,000. Ollie with a $327 trade. Boom, guys. $989 profit. $2,600. Oh, baby! Oh, baby! Oh, baby! You guys want to see something good today? We're bringing something good to the house.
Pour me another drink. 'Cause I don't wanna feel a thing no more, hell no. I just wanna sip till the pain wears off. Don't wanna think about her, or wear a ring without her. Don't wanna hit the karaoke bar, can't sing without her. So make them drinks strong, 'cause brother, she's gone. And if I'm ever gonna move on, I'ma need some whiskey glasses. 'Cause I don't wanna see the truth. She's probably making out on the couch right now with someone.
Good morning. Good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, happy Tuesday, everyone. I hope everyone is having an absolutely fantastic Tuesday, kicking some things on off, getting ready to make some money. Let's do it. Traders, bright and early in the morning here. 9:09 a.m. Wake up, people. We got a brand new day. We got a brand new opportunity. We got a brand new setup. The S&P 500, and I'm expecting to get ready for a dip buy. I'm expecting to get ready for a bounce play. I'm expecting to be able to see this market start moving back on up. We want to talk about it all. We want to make sure every single person is all set, ready to go. So we really, again, just have to take the time, take the next 20 minutes to break it on down. That's what's important, traders. But I hope every single person is excited. I hope every single person is ready to rock and roll. Guys, let me see you in the chat room. If everyone could take a second, hit me with a good morning. Hit me with a Dekmar trades. Woo! Let's get the energy up. Let's get that excitement going, because we are about to work the best job there possibly is. Trade in the markets, trade in the stock market right here and right now. If you guys are watching over on YouTube, smash that thumbs on up. Show me that you're here and ready to go. And man, team, it's going to be a big day ahead. It's going to be an exciting day, and I am looking forward to it. So let's talk about what we have at this moment, what's going to be coming on up on this day. First things first, S&P 500. Are we going to see a dip buy today? Are we going to see a bounce, or is the S&P 500 going even lower? Well, team, let's just kind of talk right about it right here. Let's head on over to Foxrunner, click our news alerts. And what do we have over on our news alerts? It says everything you need to know on the S&P 500. Okay, so what is everything we need to know on the SPY? Is the SPY bottom in? The market sell-off continued on Monday amid concerns over the state of the U.S. economy. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 2.6% to close the session at 38,000, while the S&P 500 moved 3% lower to finish at 5,000. This marked the biggest loss for both the index since September of 2022. The Nasdaq Composite saw the biggest percentage loss, falling 3.43% to close at 16,200. In Japan, stock also tumbled as Nikkei 225 plunged 12.4%, its worst day since Black Monday in 1987. So, traders, what we have at this moment, all right, what we want to see at this time is we know that yesterday we had one of the biggest dropping days in the last 2 years. We saw that Japan's market had one of its biggest dropping days in history in all of Japan's stock trading and stock market. What we have, though, is today we actually saw one of the best days over in Japan as it bounced back up 10%. Imagine a market falling 12% and then the market bouncing back up 10%. That's kind of crazy to be able to see. So I know there's been so much going on. I wanted to type out here, team, a nice easy timeline and make sure everything's all set. So what we have here on this timeline, it says 7-1624. We're going all the way back over to July 24. Stock market reaches an all-time high with the SPY touching 565.16. Over the next month, the S&P 500 4% falls to the 50-day moving average at the price of 540. On 7-31, the Feds announced they will be holding rates steady. Fears of investors grow as the Feds have yet to cut rates 6 months later than what was expected. Traders, do you guys remember that the Feds were supposed to cut rates back in January? People were like, oh yeah, we're going to cut rates in January. Well, we never did that. February, never did that. March, April, May, June, they were in July. Still haven't done it. August, they're not going to do it. So the thing is, traders, it's kind of crazy. We had, again, record highs. The market fell for about a month straight after, again, hitting those record highs. The Feds announced that they are no longer going to be cutting rates right now. We are probably going to be doing it in September. We see fears grow. Japan's stock market had its worst crashing day in about 50 years, fell 12%. Yesterday, the S&P 500 fell 2.91%, hitting the price of 507 in pre-market. And now, within the last 18 hours, Japan's stock market has bounced 10%, making back nearly all of its losses in one day. So, while there are no guarantees, we are on high alert for a strong bounce play today. One of the major factors of the SPY's movement will be global markets. Seeing such a strong bounce in Japan's market, investors will be watching to see if the S&P 500 can do something similar. So, I mean, that makes sense, guys. If we saw that Japan's market fell 12% and then it basically bounced all the way back on up, a lot of people are going to be asking themselves today, hey, are we going to be able to see something similar in the S&P 500? Could we see a drop of 4% yesterday and now we bounce back up 4%? So, SPY chart setup. This is the channel to watch. So this channel on the S&P 500, this is going to be the main area that's going to get us going. So we have room to run up to 535. Basically what it says entry, 523 is the bottom of the channel. Exit, 535, top of the channel. It will be very difficult to break into the channel once again. Most likely, but once we see this break that channel, we could get that nice pop and that nice breakthrough. So if we cannot hold 523, expect to see a strong reversal back down to 516 as buyers give up. 523 is the make or break area today. Above it, you are in a strong channel. If you can't get in, watch a reversal back on down to the lows. So right here, team, this is the channel. This is the easy way to be able to see what we have coming on up. We take a look over on the S&P 500, and what do you guys realize? The S&P 500 has been downtrending. The S&P 500 does have a record high all the way up at 565. Then it came back down towards around 535. Then it bounced back up, then 534, then bounced back up to 540. Then again 533, then 530, then 532, then bounce back up to 540, then bounce up to 540. We have been fading and falling. Now, there was a point that we got overextended and we came crashing on down. And there was a point that we got over sell-off, and now we're bouncing back on up. This entry to get in the channel is going to be at that 523 mark. So the entry to get in the channel is going to be 523. Now, to get into the channel is going to be very difficult. But if we can get into the channel, we have a lot of room to be able to spike all the way back on up towards around 535. So it really comes on down to, can we get back into the channel? Can we be able to get back up into 523 and break 523? I do think we will see 523 today. I do think we are going to try to get up towards around 523. And I do think the S&P 500 has opportunity to spike up and through 523, but it's just going to be that 523 mark is going to be very tough to be able to break above. If you can break above it, room to run all the way back up towards around 535. So, SPY does have a lot of cool things going for it. Yesterday, one of the biggest dropping days we've had in the market in the last 2 years. Japan's market fall, Europe stocks were falling. We have a timeline of what we've seen happen over the last month. We have a chart set up, all set, ready to go. And honestly, it does come on down to 523 today. You buy at the start of the day, you sell at 523. It breaks 523 and holds 523. We can go all the way up towards around that 535 mark. At 535, watch a reversal back on down. If you can't break 523, you turn back on down to 516. Just by taking a look at this chart, you should be able to have an entire game plan all ready to go, because it really is all visual. Being able to see exactly where these stocks are going to be able to turn, reverse, get some hype, get some momentum, right? That's what it comes on down to. So, other than the S&P 500, is there any play that is going to be worth our time today? Well, as you guys can see, we do have two top gainers, LYT and TENX. These are our two top gainers on the day. So what does Fox Turner have on these? We have LYT, and underneath that, we have TENX. Let's go over both of them. It says LYT is up 114% with no news. So the number one top gainer in the pre-market has no news and no credibility. So every now and then we see a top gaining stock on the morning that has no news or credibility, and we wonder, why is it up? In most cases, this leads to profit taking at the start of the day and shorters entering right when the market opens, which leads to a sell-off. LYT has a very nice uptrend, which is a must-hold line of support. As long as the uptrend holds, this stock can hold. But once this uptrend cracks, we could and most likely will see a strong reversal. The target of today would be the 200-day moving average, which is going to be at the price of $4.90. So we do have 1 million in float, a number one gap up this morning, strong uptrend, no news, $4.90 target. Taking a look over on LYT, as you guys can see, here's the nice uptrend, starting to crack it. Already starting to get weaker, most likely not going to get up to that 200-day moving average. The stock doesn't have any credibility. The fact that it's already up or was up 100%, most likely people are going to take profits, and most likely shorters are going to move in. Two things that are going to lead to the stock going down. If I was in on LYT and I woke up and it was up 100% and there was no reason for it to be up 100%, I'm probably taking my profits and saying, hey, let me get out of this play when I can. Let me get out of this play with a great profit. Hey, you know what? The stock is up 100% right now. Boom, that's amazing for me. I'll take that. So LYT right here, 100% gain. It is starting to fade and fall as, again, that uptrend cracks. No news, no credibility, probably not anything that I would say let's go ahead and jump in on. But let's see if TENX could maybe steal the show. Because the thing is, TENX, this play does have credibility. So if you guys take a look, it says TENX announces oversubscribed $100 million private placement. So what we have at this time, yesterday, we saw slim to no hot penny stock plays due to the market crashing. Let's think about it. For example, if there are 100 people in the stock market, where do you think they are going to be looking while the SPY falls 4% on the day? Global markets were near correction territory and massive panic were taking over. A big part of investing is thinking like everyone else, but also being ahead of everyone else. If the markets are down bad, expect to see less volume in microcaps and high risk plays. If the stock market is absolutely crashing and everything's fading and falling, most likely people aren't worried about penny stocks. So we really saw no penny stock spike yesterday in any sort of way, right? TENX though, today we might see some hype, especially if the SPY starts moving back on up. TENX does have a good credible press release. It is the number 2 top gainer in the market right now. And let's see what we have. It says TENX is a solid stock to watch this morning as long as the SPY recovers and investors feel safe to move back into the market. TENX has a solid press release, only 1 million float, and is approaching $5 resistance. Once $5 resistance breaks, we will see much more attention on this play, as it approaches 100% gain on the day as well. As of 7:30 a.m., this is the best microcap gainer on the day. Credible news, the $100 million private placement. 1 million float, room to run to $5, 375 support, 53% gainer on the day. Here's the press release that came out on this. So let's go over and take a look at TENX. TENX, as we know, this stock, very nice press release, did get all the way up to $5 target already. That's awesome, but must try to hold $5 support. Try to hold $5 support. If it can hold $5 support, this is going to be a play that will have much better opportunity to spike on up, to be able to bring in some great volume, to bring in some great hype, and see if, again, TENX could be able to get, that main climb that traders are really looking for. So TENX is definitely a play that I think has potential. TENX is definitely a play that I think could go on a nice spike, a nice rip and run. And TENX, as long as it can hold $5 at this point, it is one of the only options and the best option out there. So we want to be watching this. As for previous top gainers, we really don't need previous top gainers. There wasn't really too much going on here. Let's just head on over to the all news section real quick and just make sure we're not missing anything from the all news data. So again, once this comes on up, we'll switch this on over. go to change percentage, and let's just see if there's anything at this time. TENX 3-star press release talking about, again, phase 3 oversubscribed $100 million data right here. Anything else real big? Nothing else too big. I mean, we got a 70% gainer. That's good. IONM got delisted, so you guys don't have to worry about that. What about SALM? Is there anything even here on No, SALM, nothing there either. So it really is just TENX. 3-star press release, phase 3 trials. Does, again, talking about that $100 million private placement right there. So it is a good, solid press release. We will, again, keep our eyes peeled on it. SGMO also has an agreement press release up 41%. So SGMO, we'll keep our eyes peeled on that. SGMO is a little bit larger in float, though. So you could see SGMO does have a good, credible press release as well. You could see a 3-star word does have the word agreement, which is pretty solid. It is up, 40%, but the float is a little bit larger. So it's just going to be a little bit slower, most likely. Little bit slower, most likely. LUMN, what do we have here? LUMN, this stock raises its price target to $315. So LUMN raises its price target. So there is a lot more news today than we had yesterday, right? This stock did get a little bit of a spike. Let's keep this one on the back burner. I like it. This one, is trying to, get back up to above 423. So I would probably say again, let's say again, stocks to watch. Stocks to watch right here. We got LUMN. We do have, again, TENX. We do have LYT. I'll take a look real quick. Someone's saying, Dek, take a look over on VBIV or VBIB. I am not seeing anything over on VBIB. That's not a ticker. That's not a stock that I'm seeing at this time. So, again, LUMN, TENX, VBIV. Again, only 11 cents. Personally, not for me. Not for me at this time. I would say LUMN, TENX, LYT, and also, again, we could throw SGMO on it. SGMO, those are kind of the best ones that I would say have, good, solid opportunity at this time. Good, solid opportunity at this time that, could possibly get some sort of break, some sort of spike, some sort of rip and run here. So that you guys are all good. All right. So these are some of those options that traders are going to be watching at the start of the day. These are some of those plays that traders are going to be saying to themselves, all right, hey, these are plays that definitely have potential. But honestly, for me, I am going to be watching the S&P 500 today. What I'm going to be looking for is I do want to try to nail that spike back up towards around that 523 mark and see if we can break above it. So, Dek, what are you going to look for? What's honestly your game plan going into today? My game plan going into today is I'm probably going to look for a pullback, probably somewhere back on down towards like 517 and look for a dip buy and then look to run this up towards around 523. That would be, again, my best game plan. My best game plan is target 523. We know, again, what we're looking for, right? We all know, again, over in the news alerts here, this is the channel. I think, again, we have great opportunity to be able to run up towards around that 523 mark, but I want to get a dip buy somewhere back on down that would run up towards around 523. So if I could see 517 or so, I'm going to look for entries down towards around 517, get a dip buy, see if we can go up towards around 523, and I'm most likely going to sell before we get into the channel because I don't know if we're going to get into the channel. We've gotten rejected. It could easily break into the channel and spike up to 530. But I just know 523 is going to be resistance. I think we will touch 523 at some point today. It just comes on down to getting a good entry for us to run up towards around that 523 area. So that's what I'm going to be looking for over on the S&P 500 here. So let's see here, guys. I'm going to switch everything on out. I want to get this day started. I'm excited. I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to be coming on up. I think it's going to be an absolutely awesome day of trading for everyone. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity for us today. I think there's going to be a lot of hype for us today. I think we can be able to make some nice money. But really, again, as you guys know, it just comes on down to nailing that one awesome, great play. It comes on down to nailing that one that one awesome, great stock that's going to really stand out to be able to make us a lot of money and be able to make us a lot of cash. So again, let's do exactly that. We'll be all set, ready to go here. Also, Side Note team, very exciting stuff. Side Note is going to be tomorrow. We are going to be announcing and showing you guys all of the mentors that are going to be teaching next week for the summer boot camp. So as you guys know, summer boot camp starts next Monday. So again, this upcoming Monday, the summer boot camp begins. That is going to be absolutely incredible, absolutely awesome. This is our last boot camp. This is our final boot camp. It's 30 days long, 3 days with each mentor. We have 10 different mentors. You will spend 3 days with each mentor learning their strategy and then get sent off to the next mentor, then get sent off to the next mentor, then get sent off to the next mentor. So you are constantly learning and constantly ready. The only way you will have access to this boot camp is you must be on either a 6-month, 12-month, or lifetime membership. If you are not a member of Tradecaster, you will not have access to this boot camp. And if you are a monthly member, you will not have access to this boot camp. So what you guys can do, again, before Monday, head on over to Tradecaster, get yourself, so you have access to the boot camp. When you click buy now, add the word boot camp. Type in the word boot camp, click apply. And once you click apply, guys, as you could see, you will now get 10% off. So if you want to join this boot camp, which I suggest every single person do, because if you miss out on this boot camp, I'll be honest with you, you're just showing me that you really just don't want to become a successful stock trader. I, again, got 10 different mentors, 10 different strategies, 10 different full-time traders to teach you everything they know in a 30-day period. So if you, again, want to have access, you have to, again, head on over, add the promo code BOOTCAMP. You'll get 10% off, and you will get, again, semi-annual, annual, or lifetime, and be all set. Unfortunately, monthly membership does not, again, include this boot camp. It's just, guys, it's too much value, unfortunately. I mean, not unfortunately, it's incredible, but, you know, being able to have all these mentors and them, again, taking the time to be able to teach, you know, I really have to compensate them, and we are charging for this boot camp because of, you know, everything that's coming with it. You know, the 10 different mentors, the 30-day long period. To have access to it, we will send you everything that you guys need. I am giving you guys 10% off if you type in the keyword bootcamp right there, so that you guys are all set, ready to rock and roll. So do not miss out. You guys will be all set, and I am so fired on up. It is just going to be such an incredible time. So let's get ready to rock. Let's get ready to see what comes on up here. So right now, traders, let's get ready to rock. Let's see where this momentum is going to take us. Sean says over on YouTube, says, Dek, would that be a waste of time to learn 10 different strategies where you can only focus on one? Well, again, Sean, that's a great question, but or that's a great statement saying, hey, you know, I just want to focus on one strategy. What I want to do is give you an education so you can learn the one that fits you best. So again, would you just want to have one guy teach you and hopefully that strategy works out for you? Or would you rather, again, expand your education, learn, again, how all these people make money in the stock market, and then perfect the one that you like the most? If someone said, hey, you know what? I want to learn about space. Well, again, space is a very broad topic. You could learn so much about it, so much, or it's just, hey, I want to learn about the moon, right? I want to be able to teach you as much as I possibly can, and then you can find what works best for you, and then you can dial in on that. Then you can, again, speak with that mentor more, talk with that, learn their strategy. I don't want to just teach you about dip buys. I want to teach you about dip buys and shorting and swing trading and earnings plays and futures and Forex. I want to teach you about crypto. I want to teach you about long-term investments and dividends and ETFs. I want to teach you about, you know, everything that I possibly can, so that you have the greater chance of success. The more knowledge you have, the more education you have, the more experience you can build, the more money you can make. So the thing is, I want to be able to give you all these opportunities for you to be able to grow. So I want to make sure that you guys are all set. Dek, will we have access to the bootcamp afterwards if I cannot make it? Yep, again, I will record everything, again, for 6-month, 12-month, and lifetime members. This is not anything that's going on YouTube. This is not anything, unfortunately, that will be in the video library. Guys, it will just be for 6-month, 12-month, and lifetime members, and that is it. So make sure you guys upgrade before Monday. Make sure you guys are all set, ready to go, because if you guys miss out on this bootcamp, again, you're missing out on the best bootcamp we have ever put together. Right now, team, we have, again, TENK. Still watching. Let's go over to S&P 500. Get ourselves prepared. S&P 500 ready to go here. So SPY right now, team, watching to see if this is going to drop on down. I would like to see, again, little drop on down towards around like that 517-ish mark, even maybe like 516.80, and then bounce back all the way up towards, again, 523. 523 we know is the target. 523 is, we know, again, that's where we're searching. That's where we're focusing on. That's what we're looking at. TENX, that's one of our penny stock plays we talked about today. Again, one of the penny stock plays we talked about right here. Over on TENX. Right now, SPY back up towards around 521, 520. So the team already having the S&P 500 starting to move itself. We know that 523 is going to be strong resistance, and a break of 523 could easily start bringing in some big momentum. It's tough because my target is 523 today. That's where I want this to go. But I want to get filled on it before we go up to 523. I want to get in on this play before, of course, we run all the way up towards around those tops. So the thing is, I would like to see about, that $2-3 drop, then get filled on it. Is there any sort of big news today? Let's just see any sort of news over on the economic data, any economic calendar here. We take a look. Anything big Tuesday? Nope, nothing it should be coming out that's going to be changing the market. So you see Tuesday, U.S. trade deficit at 8:30 a.m. So nothing today, nothing tomorrow. Thursday we have some news, and nothing on Friday. So the thing is, we don't have anything today, and we don't have anything tomorrow. Thursday is the next time we actually have some sort of data, some sort of news. SMX, a little bit of spike. TENX, guys starting to crack $5 over on TENX. LYT starting to get a little bit weaker. S&P 500 is where I'm focused on with today. Why am I focused on the S&P 500? Well, obviously, guys, the S&P 500 just fell 8% in the matter of a month and a half. This is where the volatility's at. I don't care what I trade. I don't care if I trade LYT, TENX, SMX. I don't care if I trade SPY or SPX. I just want to trade where the money's at, where the momentum's at, where the action's at, where the hype is at, where the volume's at. That's where I want to trade. I want to trade where I have the best opportunity of making money. So that's why you guys are here, right? Aren't you guys here because you guys just want to make fast, quick money? Aren't you guys here because you want to be able to press a button and all of a sudden more money goes in your bank account? So don't ever fall in love with a stock. Don't ever become biased towards a play. Don't say, "Ooh, I'm only going to trade LYT. I'm only going to trade GameStop or whatever." Some people fall in love with plays, and that's not what you want. Because when you fall in love with plays, that's where you start saying to yourself, all right, I'm only going to touch that play, and you're going to miss out on so many better opportunities most likely. So right now, team, we are again sitting back, waiting, watching, seeing where this hype is going to take us. Go from there. $5 stock is a penny stock. I consider anything, kind of sub $7 a penny stock. Now, I obviously know a penny stock would be a 1 cent, 2 cent, 3 cent. But basically, when I'm referring to penny stocks, I'm talking about stocks that are probably like $10 and below. Stocks that are $2, $5, $4. I consider them all penny stocks. Right now, S&P 500 still waiting for that pullback. We want to see probably, again, low 517s to, again, 516s for that bounce play. Do I think we're going down to 510 today, 511? I'll be honest, I don't think so. I think we have a better chance of going up to 523 today. I think we have a better chance of getting a bounce play today. S&P 500 starting to get a little bit weaker. S&P 500 starting to fade on down. So right now, traders, SPY, watching to see if this is going to be able to fade. Watching to see if the S&P 500 is going to be able to drop. And let's see how much weakness this can get. Can we get a $3 pullback? Can we get a $2.50 pullback? That's going to be the main idea here. That's going to be the main thing here. Waiting for that drop, waiting for that fade. And of course, if we can get that drop, if we can get that fade, that's where our money is really going to be able to come out on top. Right now we have S&P 500 still getting weaker. We can take a look at yesterday as well. Try to figure out, where some strong areas of support are at. So again, when I'm taking a look over on the S&P 500 from yesterday, all I want to do, again, one of the best things to do with charting is trying to figure out where did we see bounces. So kind of everyone do this. Go over to a 5-minute chart. Think about where were there strong bounces. I see obviously the start of the day. That's a bounce. I could see it, or start pre-market. Right here, there's a dip. Right here, there's a dip. Obviously, way down here, there's a dip. And you also want to look at where were there reversals for resistance. Here's again reversal for resistance. Here's a little bit of a dip. Here's reversal of resistance. Here's again reversal of resistance. Here's a dip. Here's a dip. Here's a dip. Here's reversal of resistance. Here's a dip buy. Here's the top. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just mentally circling, or right now I'm actually circling where we have trouble, where we had again some areas that we have turned. Now what I want to do to try to figure out where is there going to be a big dip buy is I want to look at where is the cluster. Where is the best opportunity that I can get filled to be able to make the best chance of money? So when I take a look at where's the cluster, I'm going to get rid of probably the bottoms here, and I'm going to get rid of most likely the tops here. Now I also know that at this current moment, the S&P 500 is currently sitting right at this area, and if we do start turning, where is there a best chance for a dip? Where I can really see is the best chance of a dip is I'm seeing a lot of opportunity probably right in this region, right? This is where we had bounce play, top resistance, bounce play, support, bounce play. Probably this area is where I see that we have the best chance of seeing some sort of reversal. So what I'm going to do here is I know that I'm going to go ahead and put a support line. Well, Dek, what does this support line represent? I want to figure out where's inside that cluster probably the best area. Here's the top, here's the top, here's the top. Big, again, area of consolidation. Here's a bottom, here's a bottom, here's a bottom, here's a bottom. This area is probably a great starting point that I could go ahead and feel confident that we're probably going to see some sort of bounce play if we start moving on up. For me, I think the best area starting off right now would be right around that 517.30 mark. We have, again, after hours, bounce play, after hours, bounce play, after hours, bounce play. We have in power hour, resistance, power hour, resistance, power hour, resistance. We have huge cluster from in the morning where we have tons of consolidation. In pre-market, resistance, bounce play, bounce play, bounce play. Here's another bounce play. This area right around that 1730 mark seems like it's the best area for me that I could be able to trade with confidence if we do get a nice little pullback and we get a drop back on down. So that's what I like to do. That's what I like to look at. That's what I like to see. I like to go to areas where I can say to myself, if I jump in on this play, where can I trade with confidence? So my dip buy, 1730. So I'd be looking right around that 517.30 mark, kicking things on off. Right now, traders, we are still watching this. Also, a little heads on up. I have not watched this yet, so I wanted to watch this with you guys. Hold on a second. I'm going to turn this off. So we do have, again, I have not watched this. Let's see. We have Figure just came out with a brand new video. Now, if you guys do not know what Figure is, they are developing AI robotics. They just came out with a new video. The last video they came out with had like 30 million views. You can go check it on out. So they are giving an update right now on their brand new AI robot. Let's see. It says introducing Figure 02. Let's see how advanced these AI robotics are getting. Let's see what we have here. Everyone, let's tune on in.
Top of the line titanium alloy. Realistic figure movement. Bulletproof. Sexually loving.
walking isn't the strong suit. I'll be honest here, guys. I'll be honest. I have walked like that before. I have walked like that before, and it's never been a good time. Let's figure. I was impressed until we started walking there. The moment we started walking there, I've kind of lost a little interest on this from the moment. I mean, we can't go from being the super hype Winter Soldier type of deal, looking like it's about to snipe someone from 3/4 of a mile away, to all of a sudden looking like this thing is about to shit its pants. Back, building cars, putting things in the right place. It's getting back to where it needs to be. I feel like it's just kind of dropping it. It's not being gentle, just like dropping, hoping it works out. Impressive. Not overly impressive. Impressive, not overly impressive. Not bad, though. Not bad. That's the new one. Not bad. Right now, traders, we are getting a little bit weaker here. Let's again continue to keep our eyes peeled over on this play. Remember, we want probably 517.30 area over on the S&P 500. So what I'm going to do at this moment, let's talk about it here, traders. I'm getting ready to look for a possible dip buy. We took a look over on the S&P 500. We're trying to ask ourselves, where is the best dip buy going to be? We could see after hours bounce, power hour resistance, start of the day, a lot of consolidation. Yesterday we had pre-market bounce. This blue line is going to be right around that 1730 area, where we have come on down to 1792 so far. So let's see what would be this best area for us to be able to make money. I'm going to go on over, grab SPX. I'm not going to have today's expiration. I'm not going to have tomorrow's expiration. I want to go over to August 8th expiration. The reason why I'm going to August 8th is just because I don't want to worry about time decay as much. I would be doing a call contract because I am looking for the market to be able to bounce back on up. I'm going to switch on over to probably 2 contracts to go over to a market order, and I am going to be looking for this to probably be slightly out of the money. So if we are at the price of 195, I'm most likely going to be getting involved in this when it's back on down towards around 5,170. So I could actually go over towards the call side and probably keep it at 5,180 at this moment. So if we can again drop on down, I'll probably look at 5,100 and even probably a little higher, 5,185. Probably do 1 to 2 contracts. 1 contract starting on off. Add the second one as I want to DCA, dollar cost average, and go from there. But I am looking for about another $1 drop before I even get involved over on the S&P 500. I am looking to be able to get in at a lower area, get filled, get a bounce, and ultimate target today is going to be that 523 area. So I'm just showing you guys what I'm seeing, telling you guys what I have confidence in, looking for the areas that I have the most confidence in, and looking to pull the trigger near those areas. Obviously, my ultimate goal today is going to be all the way up towards around that 523 mark, and that's what I would like to be able to hold to. So if we can start seeing a reversal, start getting that bounce, start going 519 or so, if we can go from 517 back up to 519, that would be a great sign that we're moving in that right direction, and I really do think we could get that 523 mark today. Got a low of the day of 517.87 so far. Nooch, $700 from TENX on the short. Let's go. So TENX play again, couldn't hold $5, starting to get a weaker. Couldn't hold that $5 area, starting to fade back on down. S&P 500. S&P 500 came on down to 517.87. Got a little bit of a dip buy already. Little bit of a bounce play. Can we be able to go a little bit lower? I want to go a little bit lower here, traders. It did not come on down to the area that I want at this moment. Got the S&P 500, a little bit of this bounce. Again, we were close. Came on down to 517.87. Now, Dek, what if we start breaking back on upwards? The thing is, obviously, it's tough to be able to nail the exact bottoms on these plays. It's tough to be able to nail exactly how low they're going to go. I wanted 517.30. We came on down to 517.87. Now, 50 cents apart on a stock that's $519. It's not too shabby. But are we going to just be going straight on up to 523 at this point? That's the big question. So we came on down. We didn't come on down to as low as I wanted, but definitely close to that area. But are we going to see, next thing we know, we're up towards around that 523 main target? Obviously, that 523 area is going to be the mark that a lot of us are focusing on. We can also basically see we are inside of a little bit of a channel, right? We take a look over on this play here. What do we have? We do have top resistance, 523. Back on down to support, 523. Back on down to support, 523. We all know that 523 area is not easy to break. Now, there is no news. There's no news at 10 o'clock. There's no news whatsoever at 10 o'clock. But that does not mean we are not going to see some sort of action or volatility at 10 o'clock. We could still easily see some sort of volume volatility, some sort of movement right around this 10 o'clock area. So right now, the SPY, we have gone on a consolidation. Then we have spiked up a little bit, dropped on down to 517, and now looking to get above that 520 mark. Above 520, we could easily squeeze all the way back up towards around 523, which was that ultimate goal. Right now, traders, S&P 500. Come on, let's see if this thing can drop. I want to see one more big drop. Break of 520, we might have to still just pull the trigger and give it a chance. Because if it breaks 520, there is that potential it squeezes. The next 520 break is most likely going to squeeze up to 523, or it's going to be a fake out breakout and it's going to be a dump. I don't mean to be that guy to be like, oh, it's going to do one or the other, but it's most likely going to be doing one or the other. We're either going to see that strong spike on up, or it's going to be a quick pop, then turn and dump back on down. So it's going to be a little bit tricky on the next 520 break. Right now, S&P 500 still looking pretty strong. S&P 500 still coming on up towards that 520 mark, looking for that squeeze and that spike. We've started off with a morning dip, came on down to 517.87, old high of the day yesterday, up near around that 523 area. That's where we want to see that thing, start fading and dropping back on down. Also, for anyone who did not see, I don't mean to toot my own horn too much, but the thing is, traders, did anyone see how good my prediction ended up yesterday? Anyone see how great my prediction ended up yesterday? It was almost fantastic. I mean, I'm not going to say almost. It was fantastic. Yesterday, we went over our prediction. If you guys were here on YouTube over on Tradecaster, we said SPY prediction. This is what I believe is going to happen. This was at the time of 10:15 a.m. where we have one big spike in the morning. Then I thought it would get another big spike. It would spike up to the 524 area, and then it would sell on off. Did anyone see what it did? This is what happened yesterday. This was by the end of it. The end of it was I made a prediction, nailing it perfectly. Everything I said was perfectly, and I have all the posts on my timeline. This is what happened. We had spike on up at 10:15. There was the first spike. Spike on up again, back up towards around the high of the day. Spike on up towards the 524 area, came on up towards around 523.60. Then it sold on off, and the end of the day came all the way back on down to the 516 region, as you could see right there. It was spike on up, drop on down, spike on up, drop on down, 524 area, sell off to 516. We predicted this at 10:15 a.m. on what was going to happen all the way for the next 6 hours, and we were 100% correct. It was so awesome, so great to see. I did trade in Power Hour yesterday, was able to make some money. So let's try to nail this again. We got the S&P 500 right now trying to get that spike, and obviously the goal is to get back up towards around that 523 mark at this moment. Traders, stock is trying to get some movement. If you are in right now, 523 is your target that every single person is looking for. So we know that's the goal. We know that's the idea. We know that's where people are saying, all right, time to jump in and try to hold this thing. Now, obviously, it's a little bit risky. We want to jump in. We want to get a good entry. We want to hold this up to 523. Obviously, I wanted to pull the trigger at that what area. I wanted to do it at the 517 mark. I hate sometimes feeling like I'm chasing slightly. But the thing is, this is a play that, can make us a lot of money and make us a whole lot of cash. S&P 500 all the way back up towards around that 521 mark already here. Can we get a little red candle? It seems like, again, the bulls are taking over here. It looks like the bulls are taking over, and here comes a squeeze. Here's that 520 break and the 520 squeeze as we talked about. Guys, we went from 520 to 521.60 already. This thing is already going. So it has room to run all the way up to 523. It's that 520 break, already a $1.50 rip and run. So, man, this thing is still just cooking and cooking and cooking. 523 main target as we talked about. If you guys got that first entry, man, I'm a little upset we didn't get that 517.50, 517.30 area. I mean, we were so close to that because it's been doing everything perfectly from that 517 mark. It's been doing everything exactly the way we wanted from that 517 region. So can we be able to keep on going? It looks like it wants to. I would not be shocked if this thing gets all the way up towards 523 in the next, I'm going to say in the next 10 minutes or so. Before, 10 o'clock, we could easily get up towards that area. I just hate feeling like I'm getting in late. I hate feeling like, hey, the stock's down from 518 to 519 to 520 to 521 to now almost 522, and I'm getting in, $5 late. Now, the thing is, team, we got room to run up to 523, and then after 523, if it breaks 523, we could go all the way on up towards 535 today. We know that the S&P 500 has a much better chance of going bullish today than it has bearish. Well, Dek, how could you say that? Well, because again, Japan's market recovered nearly all of its gains today. If we had a 12% drop in one day on a Japanese market, and now we saw a 10%, pullback or a 10% spike, it's really like the Japanese market only fell 2%. The S&P 500 has been falling a good almost 10% over the last month. Let's see if this could get a little bit of a bounce back on up here. So I definitely think, I think 530 could be possible today. I think, again, the S&P 500 could get easily back up towards, 529 today. So I definitely think all of those are strong possibilities. J-Ball saying his Australian market. His Australian market was able to recover a bit. Right now, we're still trying to build slightly here. Guys, here comes that possible new high of the day. Dek, what do you want to do? I'm in a little bit of a standstill, to be honest, because it's like, I know 523 is the target, but what, I'm going to jump in now when there's 90 cents left after already a $5 run? I'm in a little bit of a pickle. I'll tell you guys why. I don't want to be jumping in after a $5 spike. Now, with that being stated, I also think we're going bullish today, so I don't want to go on puts. Could you do puts at 523? Absolutely. You could do puts at 523. I really don't want to do puts at 523 because I think the market's going green today. So I don't want to jump in after a $5 spike, but I also don't want to do puts. I don't want to do puts because I think the market's going green, so really I have to do calls. What's the only area I can do calls, though? Calls I want to get on some sort of pullback. But it doesn't seem like a pullback's coming. It seems like we're going right on up towards around that 523 area. So it's just like, you know, I'm in a little bit of a predicament. I don't feel comfortable buying this high after this strong of a spike, but I don't want to do put contracts because I think the market's all bullish today. So I'm just being very, very open, being very vulnerable with you, being very transparent with you right now. Telling you exactly what I believe is going to be happening here. So here comes that 523 area coming on up here, traders. And I mean, the main money, I think the best trade that we could possibly have made would have been just 517 to 523. Boom. That's probably $5,000 in profit right there. So the S&P 500, 523 is the tough one. Yes, you definitely could look for some sort of put contract near 523. We do know that this is where trouble's at. Here's 523, here's 523. You could again scroll on back, here's 523. So every time we get near 523, we definitely will see at least, you know, probably $1 pullback or so. We got up towards, again, 522.47. Maybe if we can see this thing back on down towards the low 520s, maybe even a 519, you know, we could jump back on in, get ready for that run on up towards, again, 523. So I want to do calls, but I want to do calls on very low dip buys. I want to do calls on very low dip buys. I want to get calls in very low areas. Come on, we want to see this thing keep on fading, keep on falling. Where would, again, nice dips. Let's go. Let's also add the VWAP indicator. Always good to add that VWAP indicator. See where the VWAP is currently at. Definitely helps with understanding, you know, where we could start getting some reversals and such. I think a good area for a possible dip back on down towards the low 520s. Low 520s, good little dip by a mark. We're still, again, just sitting back, waiting and watching. If you guys have pulled the trigger already, I hope, again, you're in the green. And that, you know, the only thing that I would really, again, think that probably you guys would be in is if you're in somewhere around that 518 mark on calls. And, you know, that would be absolutely fantastic if you were able to nail something nice down low there. I would say, again, if you're looking for a nice little dip buy, we're looking as low and as close as we can to 520, trying to get as close as we can to the VWAP. As close as we can to the VWAP, the better. So the closer we can get to the VWAP, the better the opportunity for us. Engineer, call me $500. I love that. You know, got in on the S&P 500 on that upside. Was able to make a nice $500 profit. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely great. So right now, SPY, we are watching this. We are, again, focused over on the SPY. We do want to see if this thing is going to be able to squeeze up towards around that 522 area and keep on going. A little bit of a pullback right now at this time. Come on, SPY. Let's see if we can drop back on down near that VWAP, get a little bit of a dip buy, and go from there. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Just going to turn on the AC across the room. Make sure we're all getting ready to crush this day. Traders, right here, we do have the S&P 500 coming back up towards around that high. Brand new high of the day over on the S&P 500. Brand new high of the day on the S&P 500, 523. Here comes the target. Now remember, it all comes on down to right here in this, team. We have been working ourselves back up to 523. That's all it is right now. We are working ourselves back up towards around that 523 area. 523, black line. Once we get back in front of this, that's where we could start spiking and really start climbing. If we can't break 523, watch for a strong reversal back on down. So here comes the S&P 500 trying to spike and get that climb back up towards that red line. Up towards 522.80 so far. 522.80 at this time. And now the S&P 500 having a little bit of trouble. Dek, would you ever look for a put contract right around that 523 area? I would honestly rather look at like 522.80 and look to see if it can fade and fall back down towards like 521. I think if it gets up towards 523, I think it's going to try to squeeze itself a little bit more and go up to like 523.50 or so. I think there's a better chance of seeing a pullback back down to 520, actually like right now, than we do up towards around 523. It's also 10 o'clock at this moment. 10 o'clock, we're not seeing any sort of big squeeze. Think about maybe doing one put contract, see if this thing can turn and fall back on down. We're at 522.02 right now. SPX 5,235. Watching to see what this one may be doing here next. I just know, again, 523 strong resistance. If we're going to do any put contract, it has to be near 523. But the thing is, team, I do think today's a very bullish day. All right, now the S&P 500 still trying to push on up here. Still just watching. Have not pulled the trigger on anything yet. We know our targets. We know our areas. We know what we're looking for. We know how high this can get up to. We know where trouble's going to be at. We know 523 is right around the corner. We know the S&P 500 is still moving itself on up on this bullish day. And we do have, again, our strong resistance coming on up here, team, in the next few moments. So the SPY, strong resistance, next few moments here. Anyone actually think about doing a put contract in the 523s and saying, yeah, Dek, I think it's going to hit the channel and get rejected? Or is everyone basically saying, oh, no, I'm going to do call contracts? I mean, both have their pros and both have their cons. If you're doing call contracts, we've already seen a $5 spike up to 523. That's where, again, easily a reversal could happen, right? So if you're saying, oh, I'm doing call contracts, the negative is we've already seen a big spike. Now, if we can get inside the channel, that's a great sign. But the other side of this is, if you're doing put contracts, you're doing them at $5 high. We are doing them at a channel, which is great. But we also need to understand that we also saw Japan's market bounce 10% today. We also saw, again, a lot of bouncing in the markets. This could easily spike to 523, break right back on up, and keep going even more. So right here, the SPY at this time, team, trying to hold itself on up right around that 523 area. $522.50, still trying to get a little bit of that move. Are we going to be able to spike on up to around that 523 mark? That's obviously the big question. We're still sitting, it's 10:06 a.m. right now. 10:06 a.m. Watching to see how much higher we can go. Now also, you guys can take a look, just switch on over to a 5-minute, 10-minute time frame, whatever you like. You guys see top resistance, 523, pullback. Top resistance, 523, pullback. Top resistance, 523.50, pullback. Top resistance, 523.50, pullback. So it's even more, a little bit more around that 523.50 mark if you want to, even be a little bit safer. So as you guys can see, it has been right around that 523.50 mark the last few times. First time, second time, third time, fourth time, right around that 523.50 mark. Does that guarantee we're going to get up to 523.50? Nope. But you probably want to wait until probably right above 523 to see if this thing is going to be able to reverse back on down. If you are, keep it at about 1 to 2 contracts. And then if it does start spiking up towards around that 523.50 mark, just be willing to get out. Don't allow yourself to go into the red. Don't put yourself in any sort of nasty position that can only hurt you. This is a play that obviously is still trying to spike. It's a play that still has a lot of hype. It's a play that's hitting some new highs right now, and we are moving ourselves on up. And here we go, up towards 523. Got up towards the high of the day of 522.98 so far. 523 has been hit, and now we are trying to get back on up towards that red candle here. So 523.50 is next. If anyone's looking for any sort of put contracts, you guys would want to be looking at that 523.50-ish mark. We got up towards 523.16 so far. Did come right up towards around that red line. Here it comes again, 523.50. Let's see if it's going to break it. 523. Still looking pretty strong. 523.40. 523.49. So here's this big 523 mark as we talked about. Guys, 523 still breaking. 523 still breaking here. So if we keep on going, it's just all calls. I mean, guys, that's all it's been so far today. I mean, when we go back and we check this on out, what has it all been? SPY, the chart setup is looking, once we re-enter the channel, has room to run up to 535. Entry, 523, bottom of the channel. Exit, 535, top of the channel. It'll be difficult to break 523, but once it can break 523, that's where we can start seeing a lot more hype. So we have gone so far on a monster spike all the way from 517 up to 523. If anyone got anywhere near that low of the day, near that 523 mark, congratulations, or that 517 mark, congratulations. Remember, we wanted to enter at 517.30. That's where we wanted to get involved into it. And again, the goal was going to be 517 up to 523. It would be almost a $10,000 day if we were able to hold that long. So we are still seeing this thing, continue to spike. 517, are we actually going to get any pullback? Right now, it's still just nothing but strength. Nothing but strength in the market. Nothing but strength at this time. So tough for me to, it's tough on both sides. Number one, Dek, why is it tough for you to buy it? Because the S&P 500 has now spiked nearly $7 straight up without any sort of red candle. That's very tough to say, okay, let's keep on going. Now, Dek, why is it so tough for you to do any sort of put contracts? Well, because I am expecting a green day today. I'm expecting, after seeing Japanese market bounce up 10%, that, this market's going to bounce up pretty strong. So I'm in a little bit of a pickle, as I said. If you have confidence, pull the trigger. All right, now we got up to 523.95 so far. 523.95, first little red candle. Starting to form at this moment. 523.95 has been a beast of a move. Remember, we got to hold 523. We don't want to go back underneath 523. Now, S&P 500, I have no problem just kind of letting it do its thing for a little bit. I think we will get one more big spike, which will form the upper shadow. Let it get one more big spike before you want to look for any sort of put contract. Calls, you guys are still in control. Calls, you guys are still in control. And again, congratulations to all the people that are doing call contracts. Congratulations to all the people that are in on the call side, because call side right now is making the money. Call side right now is doing its thing. Call side right now is on top. I think we could easily get one more spike back on up towards, 524-ish, 524.50, 524.60. Then we get a reversal back on down. So let's just see if we can get one more rip here. S&P 500 traders. Let me ask you guys this. How many people have pulled the trigger so far? How many people are in on 1, 2, 3 trades today? Have you guys gone on the call side, or have you guys gone on the put side? Are you guys waiting? How many people have not pulled the trigger at all today yet? Wanting to get in at 517, but maybe just missed it. Wanted to get in at 524. So these are all possible opportunities for all of us here. I still think the S&P 500 may get one more rip. So SPY right now, traders. Keeping our eyes peeled on this. I want to see again like 524.60. I apologize. Little puppy just walked into the room and you might hear him crying. We're going to ignore him. A great dog owner ignores a tantrum. S&P 500 here, traders. Keeping our eyes peeled on this. Watching to see if this is going to be able to pop on up. Again, I still think we got one more spike coming. Up towards, that 524.60 areas where I think we're actually going to find our first top. Our first main top. Because so far it's gone from 518 right up to 524. We will have a little bit of a pullback today. We will have, again, a time of even like this, where we see the S&P 500 spike straight up. We see it come back on down, then go up even higher. So there will be one or two very large red candles on the day if you want to nail those on the puts. But the thing is, I think the majority of the day is still going to be green. Here comes that possible new high of the day very soon. Possible new high of the day. Dek, where would you do put contracts? 5,250 I'd probably do. Put contracts. Start with one contract at a time. Dek, where would you actually pull the trigger? I would probably say high 524s. 524.90. Probably do one contract. Jump on in. See if we can reverse right around that 525-ish mark. Probably even break 525, go up towards around 525.50. Right now, though, we're still sitting right around that 523 area. I want to just see another kind of $1.50 pop and then go from there. Guys, a little pullback already starting to form here. If we do, again, pullback, you guys usually know best bounce play is going to always be right around the VWAP. Pasta Boy making $3,000 on the day. Let's go. Love seeing that. Again, whenever you guys are making over $1,000 on the day, it always gets me excited. Whenever you guys are always making over $1,000 on the day, it's always great to see. Over $1,000 in profit. Guys, S&P 500, a little bit of a drop right here. Switch on over towards call contracts. Again, in case you ever do get one of those big red candles, we start fading back on down to sub 521. We start seeing those 522.80s, 522.90s. You want to get ready for a quick little dip buy. Remember, we have 6 hours that the stock market is open. And all we want to do is find 2 minutes of predictability. That's it. Find 2 minutes that the stock is going to move in your favor. 2 minutes of predictability where you can say to yourself, all right, when I jump in, I'm going to have an opportunity where I'm going to come out on top, where I'm going to make money. That's all you want to do. So we're getting a couple, little bit of a pullback right now at this moment. See what the SPY's doing next. A little consolidation here. Penny stock wise, LYT faded on off. That stock had no news whatsoever. That was the play that we talked about. That probably is just going to fade and fall and not really do anything. TENX, this play again fading on off, not really doing anything at this moment. So right now, team, we want to see where this hype is truly going to take us, where this momentum is really going to take us. Got the S&P 500 high watch and high alert here, traders. Still at 523. You know, the SPY, this has been a beautiful climb. Sometimes, you know, around this time, you know, maybe an hour in, people start saying, oh, I haven't, you know, things are getting slow now. The thing is, guys, we have to think. I mean, we had an opportunity here from 518 up towards around 524. I mean, that's a beautiful $4 climb already on the market. And I really do think that overall, if you are holding long term, you want to be on a bull. You want to be on the bullish side. Let's see how some other plays are looking at this time, team. If we want to take a look at this, how are some other plays looking? We do have the S&P 500, which is great, but how is like Tesla looking today? Tesla's actually not doing too well at this moment. Tesla is still underneath its 200-day moving average, underneath $200, and is in the red. How's Nvidia doing? Nvidia still not doing too much. Nvidia, a lot of people probably tried to grab this when it was, you know, around $100. You know, people saying, hey, you know what, Nvidia, this is going to be an excellent buy right around $100. I still think Nvidia is crazy. The fact that it, you know, you can go to a monthly chart. I think the best price to ever get Nvidia would be back on down towards around like $75. Get, you know, Nvidia down near $75. Get Nvidia again, you know, back on down towards a little bit of a better area that's just a little bit more realistic. Sure, Nvidia has had the most insane spike I've ever seen on a blue chip. And a lot of people are saying, hey, the AI hype is starting to kind of die off a little bit. The AI train is starting to die off a little bit. The AI, again, momentum is starting to die off a little bit here. So we are starting to see, you know, the AI hype, the AI train, the AI, you know, momentum starting to get a little bit weaker, which I can definitely understand. So I do want to see, you know, what is going to be happening over on what's the next trend. I'll tell you right now, guys, something I'm so excited about is I'm so excited to see what will be the next thing that gets people inspired. Is it quantum computing? Is it going to be, you know, autonomous driving? Is it going to be hydrogen? Is it going to be nuclear power? Is it going to be something that we have no idea about? Is it going to be some sort of new cryptocurrency? Like, what is going to be that next big thing, right? So we are very excited to see, you know, what is going to be coming on up here next. Right now we do have, again, the S&P 500 watching this closely. S&P 500 still watching to see if we can get above that 524 mark. See if we can get above that 524 area. So the S&P 500 above that 524 area. We know we can spike right on up towards what I think is going to be 524.90. Excuse me, all the way up towards around that 525 mark. Night Trader, I'm on the call side. Only 3 contracts for a quick little pop. I like it. Call contracts for a quick little pop on up. I definitely like it. I definitely think there's that opportunity there. S&P 500. I still think we can get that quick pop. Quick pop up towards, again, what I'm thinking, I think it's going to upper shadow in the 524s. 524.90, 520, even maybe a 525 touch. How many of you guys have been watching the Olympics? I love it. I love the Olympics. Every time I turn on the TV, there's always something random. I'm watching ping pong. I'm watching badminton. I'm watching volley. I'm watching canoeing. I'm watching all this random stuff. I love, again, just having the TV on, having the most random sports I've never even heard about before. I didn't even know there was kayaking in the Olympics. I saw that the other day. Right now, S&P 500. Guys, we got up towards, again, the price of 524.07. Is 524.07 going to be the top now? 524.07. Could that be it? So as you guys can see, I definitely think we're right around the top. But it's just like, the pinpointing is going to be so much tougher. Right now, the S&P 500. S&P 500 here, team. We still want to see if we can break above that 524, go on a little bit of that rip and rally up towards the high 524s, then get a little bit of a put contract, get a little bit of a pullback. So it seems like right now it's gearing up for a nice squeeze. It's gearing up for that possibility to squeeze right on up to 524. Here comes a possible new high of the day. We're only about 30 cents away. The S&P 500 is currently up $6 already. We could easily see this thing up $8 to $9 today. We could easily see the S&P 500 up around $8 to $9 on the day. I also saw again the U.S. basketball team. The USA basketball team almost lost. You guys see that the other day? They almost lost to South Sudan. I don't even know where South Sudan is on a map. I'm not really sure. So the fact that we almost lost to them, pretty crazy. Get it together. Get it together. It's south of Sudan. Okay, hey, you got me there. It's south of North Sudan. Right now, traders, got the S&P 500. Still getting a little bit weaker. Let's keep our eyes peeled on this. Give me 2 seconds here. Right now, traders, still again keeping our eyes peeled for that pop. We're still sitting right at that 524 mark. So we are still sitting right at that 524 area. Deck, where can I find some of the shorting lessons? The shorting lessons, guys, little heads on up. Getting everyone excited for the upcoming summer boot camp. I'm actually putting those out over on YouTube. So again, every single day over these, every single day you will see a brand new shorting boot camp video over on my YouTube. So it's gonna be coming on out every single day so that you guys are all set. So you make sure that you guys are aware of it. 1 o'clock every day, brand new shorting boot camp lesson. So I'm again very excited. That's gonna give us our countdown all the way on down to our normal summer boot camp coming on up. Right now, team, we do have the S&P 500 starting to squeeze. Let's see if the S&P 500 can take on off. Now the thing is, team, take a look. SPY still on a big uptrend. Here's the SPY still on its big uptrend. The S&P 500 still moving itself on up. Strong uptrend, still looking good. And how high can we go up to? Now let's go back over a time frame, 5-minute time frame. What was the record high yesterday? Again, when we take a look at yesterday's old spiking high, it was right around that 523.50. So we broke through that. So what's the next main area of resistance? Is there one? Well, we do have natural 525 resistance. That's going to definitely hold up as a little bit of a trouble. But is there really any area that's going to be holding up the S&P 500 at this time? Or does it really just have room to sprint? Does it have room to run? Does it have room to take on off? Well, right now at this moment, the S&P 500, we have a gap to fill. Does everyone see this? Gap to fill all the way up to 528.74. That's pretty awesome. Remember, we also talked about earlier the S&P 500. We, again, once we're above 523, we could really run all the way up towards around 535. So it's like, you know, the reason why I'm so hesitant at this moment is because I don't really want to do a put contract. But part of me says, hey, after a $7 spike, we probably should do at least one small put contract. But overall, I still believe the market's going to move on up. Overall, I believe the market's going to climb. Overall, I believe the market's going to consistently, again, keep on working and climbing and growing. So again, right now, team, we do have the S&P 500 trying to get above that 524 mark. It couldn't break that 524 area. We have not seen any strong pullback just yet, but we're actually starting to get one right now. As again, the first trend line is starting to crack. We have room to drop back on down towards the VWAP. The VWAP is going to be the next main area of support. That's all the way back on down towards that 521 mark. But now again, the SPY is finally starting to get a turn and starting to get a little bit of a drop. Deck, is the summer bootcamp free? Again, the summer bootcamp is not free. The summer bootcamp, you will have to be on a 6-month, 12-month, or a lifetime membership. We're having, again, 9 other mentors, 10 including myself, teach you. You guys can go over to any, again, membership where you says has the trading bootcamp. Monthly membership does not have the trading bootcamp. You can click buy now, and then you can click buy now, and add the promo code bootcamp. So once again, you add the promo code bootcamp, you will get 10% off. You will get 10% off. You will be added to the bootcamp, and we will send you a special link. So no, guys, the bootcamp will not be on Tradecaster. You will receive a special link every day that's going to give you access to the bootcamp live stream. So just a little heads up for you guys that you guys are all good, but only if you're on a 6-month, 12-month, or lifetime access will you guys have access to the 30-day bootcamp. So you guys have to upgrade before, again, Monday. Just a little heads on up. If you are on a monthly membership, you will not have access to this. Yes, it will be recorded. Yes, we will be sending it to you. We will not be putting it in the video library. We will not be putting it on YouTube. This is, again, just for members that are 6 months, 12 months, or lifetime members. Yep, I will send you an email every morning. Kushdot, again, buddy, unfortunately, it just comes on down to getting all these amazing people who are, again, joining this boot camp. You know, I got to compensate them. I don't like, again, charging for anything. You know that. So the thing is, it just comes down to I'm trying to give you the highest quality, the highest value possible with, again, not going overboard. As you guys know, people charge $4,000 for boot camps, $3,000 for boot camps. That's just them teaching their strategy. I'm trying to keep things as affordable as possible and not give you one strategy, give you 10 different mentors. So the thing is, guys, if you cannot afford it, hey, I understand. I understand, again, sometimes times can be tough, and I'm not trying to put you down in any way if, again, you cannot come up with the funds to be able to afford the boot camp. But the thing is, when I am bringing 9 other full-time traders who are using their time to be here to help teach you when they don't have to, it just comes on down to, that's the way business works, that, you know, when I hire these guys, it does come on down to I am going to have to put some sort of fee over on the trading boot camp. So I want to give you guys the best value I possibly can. I want to give you guys the best education I possibly can. And as always, I hope you guys understand that. Or I could just wrap this thing on up to $4,000. $4,000 a person. But I don't want to do that, guys. I don't want to. Right now, SPY at this time, watching, waiting, seeing where this momentum's going to take us. S&P 500 right now, S&P 500 at this moment. By VWAP 521 here. We are starting to see that weakness, you know, drop back on down here. We definitely are starting to see a little bit of a fade. We are starting to see a little bit of a drop. I would say if we do get a little bit of a pop back on up, watch for lower highs to start forming. Lower highs are going to be something that looks like this, where if we do spike back on up towards around like 523.50, that's going to be, again, the next lower high that could show weakness and start dropping. So again, I just like to play trends a lot of times. I know that we have support right here. I know that we have resistance up there around that 524 mark. Spike on up towards around 523.50, possible put contract, market order, 5,200, and what's a realistic area? 5,245. There we go. Put contracts. Here comes a little bit of a spike right on up to 523.60. I might do a put contract, guys, of one contract and just try to get myself paid starting on off. Look for some lower highs to form. See if this thing can squeeze on up a little bit and go from there. Here's a little bit of a pop. Let's see if the lower highs can start forming a little bit better. Let's see. Where is this, downtrend going to start happening? Still, again, moving itself on up. We might have a little bit of that head and shoulders pattern. Shoulder here, head here, looking for a little bit of that shoulder. $523, $523.80 here. Might do, again, a put contract coming on up here, team. Just because head and shoulders pattern, 524 top resistance. See if this thing can reverse right around that area. 523.70 still holding on up. 82. Traders want to keep my eyes peeled over on this one. Maybe drop on down August 7th. 5,200. Oh, put contract. 5,245. Why is it saying I can't buy this right here? I'm looking for a put contract. Am I in on the right side? 5,200. $35 here. I am looking, guys. I'm trying. I think I'm having a little issue with light speed. I am actually looking to get in on put contracts right at that blue line, that 523.50-ish mark. So I'm a little confused on why I'm not being able to get filled on this. I'm going to try to refresh my light speed at this moment. I was looking to get involved over on that play here. So I'm going to refresh this. I was looking to get involved over on a quick little put contract at this time. Right now, we're still sitting right at that 523.90 mark. I just want to see if I could be able to get filled. I know this is a very strong resistance area. Very strong resistance area. 200. And that's why I want to see if we are going to be able to hold on up. Traders, I'm going to have to contact Lightspeed for some reason. For some reason, my orders are not going through. It's just saying rejected for some reason. So I'm going to have to send an email over to Lightspeed. For some reason or another, my orders are being rejected. Now, what I will say is that it's very helpful because right now the S&P 500 is still squeezing. But as you guys can see right now, I am not in on anything. But for some reason or another, my orders are being rejected over on Lightspeed. So I am not in on anything whatsoever. Just a heads on up because my orders at this moment are being rejected. So I'm just going to send them an email and try to ask why are they being rejected. But regardless, S&P 500 still again spiking on up, still hitting some new highs. And really what it comes on down to, team, is really, what we started off, what we talked about at the very beginning of this. What we talked about at the very beginning of this is we are all expecting today to be a green day. We are all expecting today to be a green day. Every single one of us, we have again agreed that today is most likely going to be a green day in the market. Why is it going to be a green day? Because we have now fallen 9% over the last month. We have seen the S&P 500 go all the way down to 507, and now the S&P 500 is back inside of its channel. After again, the Japanese market has bounced from the price has gone from a 12% drop to recovering 10%. The S&P 500 is now also looking to recover. Not recover all again the drop that it's made, but to recover 1 to 2%. Once we get above the price of 523, we know again 523 is now the bottom support line. We have talked about this entire time. 523, bottom of the channel. Has room to run up towards around 535. If we cannot hold 523, expect to see it drop back down to 516. 523 is the make or break area. As long as you get above 523, it is inside the channel. So we did again spike from 517 up to 523. Now we're inside the channel from 523. As long as we hold 523, we are still considered bullish. So 523 is everything on today. As long as you are above 523, you are considered bullish. Now I'm going to look to try to do a couple. I just want to see if I can get a confirmation box to come on up. For some reason or another, I just have not been able to get my orders going. All right, I just contacted Lightspeed. Hopefully they just, refresh it for me and I'll be all set, ready to go. So nice to know that I can just hit them on up and hopefully, again, get everything all figured on out. What do we have here? Baja Racer, or excuse me, J Sid made $2,200 on SPX calls. Let's go, guys. I want to see, again, a couple people today making a few $1,000s. It really has just been calls as buyers have been moving. Now, when is the next time that we possibly could be seeing a pullback? When could be the next time that we could possibly be seeing a drop? Probably the next big time of a pullback, probably the next big time is a drop as we get closer to lunch hours. As we get closer to lunch hours, we have a better opportunity of seeing some weakness. Right now, SPY still trying to move. SPY going on up. Now, Dek, how high can we go up to? 535. Now, that would be an extremely large move on the day. Let's also remember this, guys. Let's be realistic. We're already up $7 on the day. We're already up 1.4% over on the S&P 500. Continuously going on up, higher and higher and higher and higher. You know, that is going to be tough to continuously go higher and higher and higher. But we have room to go up to 535. The Japanese market has recovered 10% out of a 12% drop. We are seeing, again, all markets bounce on off globally. So it is just, you know, calls still. It is still just calls, calls, calls. So the SPY is still working itself on up. We are still seeing, again, buyers still keep on pushing here. I'm waiting for Lightspeed to give me some data back so that we're all good. But it seems like I can't trade at this exact moment. Tomorrow, guys, I will be again releasing more information on all of the mentors that will be out and working with you guys in the summer boot camp. So I'm really pumped to be able to do that. Showing you guys who's going to be teaching you along myself over in the summer boot camp. S&P 500, brand new high of the day, getting itself, pushing itself on up towards around 525. Room to obviously break it. We still have technically another $10 that we could be able to run. Adam, can you trade shares? No, right now, unfortunately, it says for some reason or another, it says I have 0 buying power. So that's what I just sent them a picture of. I don't know why. It says I have 0 buying power at this moment. Remaining buying power 0. So obviously that's not correct. So I just sent them an email. I'm just waiting for them to email me back. Penny stock wise, what do we have here? LYT. Again, LYT and TENX, both plays that we suspected that were going to basically just fall today, right? TENX, $5 strong resistance, most likely going to fall all the way back on down. LYT didn't have any sort of news today, was going to fall back on down. Remember, take a look over on this. Scroll on down here. TENX. TNX, guys, solid stock is going to have a strong $5 resistance. $5, guys, it needs to be able to hold. So, room to run to $5. After it hit $5 on TNX, guess what? It gave all of its gains back. What did we have on LYT? This stock has no news and no credibility. Usually stocks that have no news and no credibility, in most cases, this leads to profit taking at the start of the day, shorters entering right when the market opens, leading to a sell-off. So, guess what do we see? Both these plays alerted. LYT, sell-off. TNX, sell-off. Shorters, congratulations on your win right there. S&P 500. S&P 500, new high of the day. Above 523, still spiking, still climbing, still moving. Now currently up 1.58% on the day, coming up to $8 on the day. So it's just been, at this moment, still climbing, 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 climbing. And again, all these answers are over on Fox Runner. If you guys don't have Fox Runner, go get it, because all the answers are right here so that you guys are all set. Here comes the SPY starting to squeeze itself on up. SPY starting to squeeze itself on up even more. S&P 500 still going. S&P 500 not slowing down in any sort of way. This is again why I've just been so kind of, like helpless on the puts, is just because there's just so much momentum now on this upside. So much momentum as buyers are trying to come flying on in. Japanese market recovered 10% of a 12% drop. We're seeing again Europe's market, Australia's market bouncing back on up. Traders are saying to themselves, hey, United States market gonna be bouncing back on up. Yep, sometimes all it takes is one great trade. S&P 500. Another new high of the day. This thing is just going straight on out. Guys, I cannot trade at this moment, but if you guys want to make some money, it has just been, if you pull the trigger on the call side, you are making cash. That has been all the S&P 500 has been today. The S&P 500 has just been, if you click the buy button, you make money. That's what it's been from, again, 517, where we all wanted to get filled on. Man, imagine that, guys. 517.30 is where we wanted to get filled. 517.30 is the alert that I put out to hundreds to thousands of you guys. 517.30 is the area that I wanted to jump in and ride it up to 523. Am I upset with that alert? No, not at all. I mean, guys, 517.87, and now we spiked all the way up to 526. Even though, again, I did not get the entry I want, getting 517 is pretty damn good. And to see it go all the way up to 523, a $6 spike, also is pretty damn good. And on top of that, it went another additional $3 up towards around a $9 spike, is pretty good. So we are seeing, again, the S&P 500 continuously climb, continuously spike. We do see the S&P 500 back inside of its channel that we alerted this morning. Still, again, moving itself on up. All it has come on down to, the only reason that even, again, traders like me struggle with at times, the only reason that you should not be up hundreds to thousands of dollars right now is just from confidence. From saying, hey, I trust the S&P 500. I'm going to click the buy button. And you click the buy button and you make money. But it's very difficult sometimes to take that leap off that ledge. It's very difficult sometimes to be able to jump off and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to give it a chance. It's very difficult sometimes to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to jump on this play and I'm going to hold this and I'm going to actually allow it to run. But it does not matter if you bought at 517 or 18 or 19 or 20 or 21 or 22 or 23 or 24 or 25 or even 26 now. You have made money as long as you click the buy button. Isn't that pretty crazy? We are now up almost $10 on the day. So we are still going here. We are still going, traders. Pretty nuts. SPY, when are we going to reverse? Now, the ultimate target's 534. Ultimate target's 534. Let's see what CNBC is doing. How's also Bitcoin doing? I bet you Bitcoin's back up near around, I'm going to guess 56,000. I'm going to guess 56,000. Bitcoin, where are we at? Boom, nailed it. Did I look earlier? No, I didn't. That was a real guess. I'm really good at guessing. Bitcoin up currently back up towards around 56,000. What do we have right here? It says Dow rallies 400 points. S&P 500 up 1%. Arizona taps Democratic running mate. The popular carry trade is unwinding. Fed cut rates makes matter worse. Sunflower bankruptcy. Okay. So what do we have right now, guys? It says Dow rallies 400 points, S&P 500 up 1% as Wall Street rebounds from sell-off. So it says at this time, several big technology stocks rebounded after a sharp pullback on Monday. Nvidia rose 3.6% while Meta Platforms advanced 2.5%. Meanwhile, Apple continued its decline and fell nearly 2%. Helping sentiment was rebounding in Japanese stocks. The Nikkei 225 posted its best day since October of 2008, soaring 10%. The moves follow a sharp sell-off during Monday's trading amid concerns of the state economy. The major unwind yield carry trade also contributed to the volatility. Right now, S&P 500 still trying to build on up. We have the S&P 500 still trying to climb. See if we can get back above that 526 level. What else we have? LUMN. Take a look over on this one. LUMN. That's still, again, one of the best penny stocks out there. One of the best penny stock plays out there is LUMN. $1 up towards, again, $4. Has room to climb up towards around that $5 region here. Also, just a little heads on up, I believe. Oh, guys, all good now. Yay! Thank you, Lightspeed. So I actually, again, have funds now. I have funds again. The S&P 500, I'm back. Guys, I have funds again. See, guys, you know what's awesome? Sometimes all you got to do is just send an email, and they will, again, rack you back on up with some funds. All right, cool. So nice to see. So the S&P 500 still going. S&P 500 still climbing. We can take a look back over towards SPX at this point. Dak, you want to go on SPX here? I mean, I know I'm late to the party. That's the thing. I know I'm late to the party now. But, you know, what have I been saying? If you click the buy button, it seems like you win, right? So if you click the buy button, that's where the winners have been at. That's where the winners have been, you know, sitting. That's where everyone's been feeling good. As long as you hit the buy button, it seems like 5,280. If I want to one contract, let me just make sure I'm all good to go. Yes, okay. We're all set now. Now I'm all ready to rock. S&P 500 has a high today of 526.50 so far. We have had some beautiful squeezing. We've had some beautiful spiking. We've had some beautiful climbing. If we want to connect the dots at this moment, we can connect the dots at this time. Going over, we are probably going to be seeing an uptrend that looks similar to this, where we are going to see top resistance right at 526.50. Then we're going to have top resistance right around 526.50. Pullback area back on down towards around 524. Pullback area back on down towards around the purple line. And then we do have this ascending triangle pattern starting to squeeze. I do have buying power back, so I am good now, ready to trade. LUMN, room to run up towards around $5. Just a little heads up for you guys over there. LUMN, room to run back up towards around that $5 mark. S&P 500 team, if the S&P 500 fades and falls, let it fade and fall. If the S&P 500 needs to fade and fall, let it fade and fall for a bit. S&P 500, it's got room to drop, it's got room to fade, let it fall back on down. If it needs to, you can get a dip buy at the purple line. Okay, so yes, I'm not a huge fan of probably doing puts right now. We do know the closer we get to lunch hours, the better chance we have of puts coming on up. So you can watch her again, this pullback back towards around that 523.90 mark. We're still again watching for this one, looking for this next move. And again, thank you everyone who's joining us on this day. I hope you guys are again excited. I hope you guys are fired on up, and I hope you guys are looking forward to seeing what's going to be coming on up here next. S&P 500 here, baby. S&P 500. Watching to see the squeeze. Watching to see the S&P 500. Watch for a little bit of a pullback and a fade right back on down. Got some things coming on up here, traders. Let's actually talk about a little future schedule, okay? Let's talk about a little future schedule here. Future schedule. Next week, we do have the summer boot camp. The summer boot camp is going to be going from August 12th all the way until September 12th. So that's going to be pretty long. Then right after that, we are going to be going on down to our annual small account challenge. Seeing again how long we are going to be able to grow that and see if that's going to be able to pop on up. Then on top of that, as we head into probably the start of November, we are going to be having a prop firm challenge. So we are going to go from summer boot camp, learn the strategies, to our small account challenge, to a prop firm challenge. A lot of people have been asking me, Dek, can you do some sort of prop firm, you know, be able to get funds, see if you can pass the test and see what you can do from there, and then go for, and then I'm gonna do that. So we have summer boot camp for a month, then we're gonna have a small account challenge for about 2 months, then we're gonna go over to a prop firm challenge, and we're gonna kick that on off. So the next, again, probably 3 months, 4 months are just gonna be working, challenges, seeing if we're gonna be able to grow, right? It's gonna be a lot of fun, and seeing how far we can really take it. So, you know, get pumped on up and get excited about that, team. So team, get ready. Watch this. We are probably going to see a hard red candle pretty soon. Get ready, team. I will look for call contracts if the SPY crashes on down towards around 523.80. 523.80. Just want to make sure everyone understands this. So what I'm seeing at this moment, little heads on up, I see at this time that the S&P 500 is starting to build lower highs. Can you guys see how we have red candle, red candle, red candle, red candle? We can actually go ahead and connect all these dots, and we see we have a very strong downtrend. What I want to see is an overextended move to the downside. I want to see that we're going to drop on down to this purple line, 524, even into the 523.80s, and then bounce right back on up. So if we see 523.80, I'm going to pull the trigger. I'm going to look for the SPX to be able to get filled somewhere right around that 5,240. I'm going to put a call contract slightly out of the money on an August 8th expiration, so I have time to build on up. So I'm going to do probably 5,260 most likely call contracts, probably do 2 contracts, market order in on this play, and see if I can get a nice dip buy and bounce play as we move ourselves back on up. S&P 500. Let's see if we can turn. Now, the only concern is we are getting closer to lunch hours. We do know as we get closer to lunch hours, we get consolidation. Let's take a look at yesterday. Yesterday, when we came on up towards 12 o'clock, we had consolidation, spiked up, hit the top, and then the rest of the day, we faded on off. So it was basically, if we want to break this on down, guys, yesterday, it was really cool. Yesterday was perfectly split. First half of the day was up, 12 o'clock hit, second half of the day was right on down. It was nice to be able to see that. Spike on up, drop on down. LYT here. Let me ask you guys, how many people here use a prop firm? I've never used the prop firm before. I'm not really sure how it goes, but a lot of people always say, hey, Dek, I want to see if you can get past the prop firm challenge. I want to see how much money you can make out of prop firm. So people always say, this is how it works. Usually, again, you have to pay money to take a test, show that you are a significant trader, show that you can win on your trades. Then after that, you get free money. You get a free funded account of, let's say, $100,000. They give you $100,000. But if you lose $2,000, you are out. They kick you out. They say you got to start over fresh. You got to pay money once again to take the test to be able to get refunded. Then on top of that, it would be, okay, you have $100,000. Once you cross over $120,000, anything you make above that, you keep. Something like that, right? It's like, you know, you got to pass a test. Then you can't lose too much. when you win, you got to win a certain amount, and then anything above that, you keep for yourself. So I'm interesting. How much money could I make for myself off a prop firm after passing the test? So that's, what we're going to be doing coming on up late summer, getting ready for the early fall. Going over using these prop firms and seeing what I can do. S&P 500 consolidating right near around these top areas. I still think, again, as I talked about, the S&P 500 has room to be able to get weak. S&P 500 has some room to be able to fade. S&P 500 could easily come all the way back on down towards, the 524.26s. I want to see a nice hard red candle here. So S&P 500, let's see a nice big lower shadow. I want to see it come on down to this trend line, form a lower shadow, buy in on the lower shadow, pop back on up. That's what I'm looking at. Nope, right now, traders, I'm still waiting for that first trade. I'm waiting for a pullback on down. I probably am going to get filled somewhere right around this 523-ish area. I want to get filled, probably right on down towards probably like 523.80 and then get a nice dip buy. So I'm going to get, a dip buy probably right around 523.80 is what I'm looking for. S&P 500 still just kind of moving sideways here, team. Moving sideways. I want to see a pullback, a drop, and then another move back on up towards around that 526.51 mark. 526.51. Great again, top resistance area at this moment. Coming back up towards around 526, team, starting to get a little U-shape. I think this is where we are going to hit the top, maybe hit a brand new high, start getting rejected back on down. Remember, the closer we get to lunch hours, the better chance we have of seeing a sell-off. Just like we saw yesterday. Yesterday, we saw the first 3 hours of the day climb on up, and then we saw the next 3 hours of the day start dropping back on down. So I do want to draw that on out today, just to give you an idea that we could possibly see something rather similar going into today. So here's the S&P 500 right here, right? Let's take a screenshot of this right here so we can grab it. Let's bring this on over into Paint. And now let's just, get a little bit of a better visual. Traders, I think getting a good visual is just so important. It just is so helpful to help you become a better trader, right? When you get a good visual of something, you can start seeing it in a way that probably other traders are seeing it. So this was yesterday's market. If we want to go right across the board, right here, right? That's smack dab in the middle at this time. Let me just make this a perfectly straight line. Getting there, getting there, getting there, getting there. Boom. Okay, that's a perfectly straight line now. That is going to be at the time of 12:30. So this time was 12:30 right here. We know anything that was on this side was going to be what? This was all bullish here, right? Over here, this was all bullish. You can see how we went up the entire time. And then over here, this was all bearish, where we went down the entire time. So you can also see that after we again crossed that 1230 mark, we just saw a complete drop. But before that, on the upside, we just saw a complete climb. So we went bullish to bearish after we changed at the time of 1230. Now, could that happen today? Well, going into today, team, we do have the S&P 500 climbing all morning. So far, we've been climbing all morning on the S&P 500, and yes, there could be some similarities. Yes, we could be seeing something very similar as what we saw yesterday. So again, SPY, this was the chart setup yesterday. So we could have bulls all morning, bears all afternoon. We are watching the SPY, seeing what it's going to be doing for us. 11:08 a.m. Getting ourselves prepared for this next possible move, next possible rip and run, next possible climb here. We still have the SPY just moving sideways at this time. SPY just moving sideways. Stock twits here to do. All right, awesome, awesome, awesome. Just want to help you guys on out. It does seem like the S&P 500 is going to come back on down to that trend line. It does seem like the S&P 500 is going to get a little bit of a drop down to that trend line. It does look like we could see a little bit of that fade. We do know, again, 1230 was the reversal area of yesterday. Now it's just consolidating at this moment. Just a little bit of consolidation right here. Come on, give us a big red candle. Give us a big red candle all the way back on down. Give us a couple big red candles all the way back on down. That's what we want so we can get a nice little dip buy. Give me again, all it takes. I could sit here for 2 hours. But if I sit here for 2 hours and all of a sudden give me one big red candle, I get a dip buy, I make $1,000. Boom, my day's done. Boom, my day is set. That's what I want. I want, again, those big red candles. Give me an opportunity to be able to make some profit. Give me an opportunity to be able to make some money. Give me an opportunity to be able to come out on top. If I can get a couple red candles down towards around that 523.60 mark right there, give me again, 4 contracts or so. Probably do 2 contracts at a time. See this one start on dropping. S&P 500. We want to see about another dollar drop here. Give us another dollar drop over on the S&P 500. Let's see some weakness over on this play. Let's see a fade all the way back on down towards around the low 523s. Guys, we want to enter as we come on down to sub 523.50 at this point. Sub 523.50. Give us a $1 drop. Get a dip buy. Let's see if we can bounce back on up. So I want to see sub 523.50 for a dip buy. That'll be giving us bounce plays, 523.20, 523.40, 523.10. Bounce back on up above 524. We'll all make over $1,000 on this day. We just need to hit a couple big red candles here. Guys, we are getting a little bit weaker at this time. We're getting a little bit weaker. We still want this thing to fade. We still want this to drop. We got about 80 more cents before things can really start getting interesting for us. Come on. We are so close here. Oh, S&P 500 still just sitting fine, sitting at this exact moment. So traders, we are again still sitting at this moment, waiting and watching for this drop. We know again we've had a very active morning. We know we've had a very active day so far. We are looking for this thing to feed all the way back on down towards around 523, get a nice dip buy opportunity, and then of course pull the trigger. We got about 30 minutes until lunch, 30 minutes until things start getting a little bit weaker here. So we are watching this S&P 500 closely. S&P 500, come on, give us that $1.50 drop. We want to see again 523s. 523, low 523s, not just 523.90. I want to see low 523s. Low 523s. Couple red candles, team. Get ready for a dip buy. Hold this all the way back up towards, 425.80, 425.70. If we can get a nice dip buy down low, we'll be all set, ready to rock. Guys, we are getting a couple more of these red candles. Let it keep on going down. Again, all I need is one opportunity to get paid on the day. All I need is one opportunity to be able to make money. All I need is one opportunity to be able to make some true cash. That's all I want, traders. I just want to be able to make some true cash here. We got 523s. This is going to be the contract that I would be looking for. But I want to see a little bit lower, crack a little bit lower. I want to see 523.40s most likely. Get involved over on my first trade. First trade, 523.40s, even a little bit lower, 523.10s. Get ready for my second contract. Kind of dollar cost average, DCA slightly. So let's see if we can go on a little bit lower. Get our dip buy. We know again we have this beautiful uptrend so far. We have tons of consolidation back here. This is what I'm saying. We have tons of consolidation. We are going to find a dip buy somewhere in this region. From again 523 all the way up towards again 523.40, we'll find some sort of dip buy support in that region where I think it's going to bounce right back up above that 524 mark. But I do want another probably about 60 cents to drop, start getting filled on this play. SPX 5,250, and we'll be all set, ready to go. So let's see if we can keep on going a little bit more. And I think we could get a lower shadow right next to this trend line, bounce back on up. Came on down to 523, 523.75 there for a little bit, 523.80 there for a little bit. Come on, I want to see that weakness back on down towards the low 523s. We're getting closer and closer, which is a great sign. I want my trade of the morning. I want my first trade. I missed out on the 517.30 by 50 cents. It spiked all the way up another $9. Could again been a $10,000, $12,000 day just hitting that. Right now I am watching the SPY. We have gotten a nice little dip buy and bounce play just off of this uptrend so far, but I do want to go a little bit lower. I want like this orange line. This orange line is basically where I want. And then again, bounce back on up. Low 523s, bounce back on up to the mid 524s, 525s, get paid. So far, we've come on down to 523.80, bounce back on up towards around 524. If I do not have a trade by 11:30, I'm most likely just going to call it because I don't want to get caught up in a whole bunch of issues and problems. SPY still trying to hold on up here slightly, team. Come on now. SPY still just holding. Bouncing too well. Bouncing right back on up. I'm liking again. I mean, it's following its chart setups. It's not like I'm angry with it following its chart setups. I'm not angry with it following its chart patterns. I just want to be filled. We know again how well this market's been doing. We know how well this market's been climbing. We know that the S&P 500 has gone on these incredible moves. I mean, the thing is, when you guys think about it, we really have been between these two areas for the last what? We've been in between kind of this region. I'll say this region for the last few hours though, right? This has been the main support right here. This has been top resistance, more up towards this region right here. And let's see what's going to happen over on the S&P 500, as this has been basically the channel of here's consolidation, here's a breakout, bounce play. I think we're going to get a little break, and then it's going to turn and then probably start coming back on down. I'll watch for a little bit of a break though. Let's see if we start connecting these dots here and we start saying to ourselves, what's going to happen at the corner of this wedge? Right? What's going to happen at the corner of the wedge? So I'm always trying to find, what's going to happen at wedges. I'm always going to, I'm always trying to figure out where's the squeeze going to happen? Where's there going to be violent momentum? That's what I want to be able to find. Right now, SPY team getting tighter and tighter. Let's see. I think a big time today. Let's see. Let's figure this out. It'll be about probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, probably 15 minutes. I would probably say if the S&P 500 can stay inside this wedge, probably this 15-minute time frame is going to be where you want to know. So the S&P 500 team, we will be watching this, watching for a bounce, watching to see if this can get tighter and tighter and tighter here. So I want to see if the SPY, probably in 15 minutes, if this can hold this wedge, some things can get very interesting. Also, again, penny stocks, LYT, nice short so far. VSEE, not really doing too much. RGC had a gap up, now starting to fall. TENX is very red. Look how big TENX is on the short team. You guys see this? TENX, big gap up to $5, has just been fading and falling all day. There has been nothing going on with this play at this point. S&P 500. S&P 500 still fading on down. S&P 500 still fading on down. Dek, would you still get involved on the S&P 500? It's not the bounce that I wanted before. The bounce I wanted before was, again, stricter. Notice how when it bounces back on up, it's not going to, you have to adjust. I'm trying to find where is the oversold, right? Where's the oversold drop? So for instance, if the S&P 500 crashed right away, that would be fine at 523.40. But the thing is, when you bounce back on up, it kind of resets it, it holds on up. Now you have to go a little bit lower than the last one. So before we wanted to get involved right around the 523, 40 mark. Now I want to get more involved down towards around like 523, 522.90. I want to wait for an oversold drop where I know if I get in, there's a great chance of getting a dip buy and a bounce play. So the S&P 500 here, team. I do want to make a trade before lunch hours, I'm thinking. I'm in no rush. No rush. Don't got to go anywhere. No big issues. No big problems. We got more than enough time. Right now, the S&P 500 is getting a little bit of a bounce play. S&P 500 looking for a little bit of this pullback here. S&P 500 starting to get a little bit weaker, guys. S&P 500 starting to get a little bit weaker at this time. I want to see again a little bit of that fade. I'm gonna get my entry before lunch hours for sure. I know right now you guys are probably just sitting there saying, "Come on, I want to trade. I want the entry. I just want to get this. Just give me the entry I like. Give me the entry I want. I'm gonna be smart. I'm gonna be safe. I'm gonna be waiting for it, team." Right now, the SPY is being a little bit slow. The only way I'm getting filled is if there's a hard red candle where I can get filled on an overextended move. So the thing is, team, there's no reason to get filled right now. There's no reason to get filled at the same exact price that it was at back at 10:10 this morning. You could have filled at 10:10 this morning, hold it for the last 3 hours, and you're still going to be at the same exact price. Or hold it for the last hour and a half and still be at the same exact price. I want to either nail quick drop to a bounce back on up or hard spike to, again, the fade back on down. You always want to be looking for volatile movement. You always want to be looking for active movement. You don't want to ever be getting filled when things are slow and boring. When things are slow and boring, that just leads to time decay taking over your trades. When things are slow and boring, that's just going to lead towards you, again, getting stuck in on a play and saying, man, I wish I didn't get in on it. Right now, the SPY still trying to, work itself on up. Could we be able to squeeze on up through that uptrend? I'm giving this day, I'm going to give this, a lunch hours, guys, probably another 5 minutes or so. Another 5 minutes or so, see what we can do next. and obviously go from there. Little announcement tomorrow, we will be announcing all the mentors that will be again joining us for the summer boot camp. You guys do not want to miss that. That's going to be awesome. We're going to be going over in detail every single mentor and showing what they got, what they will be teaching you, how you will be learning, and learning their full strategy. So we will be going over a lot of cool stuff that's going to be extremely helpful to you and very exciting, as everyone's been asking who are some of the other mentors out there that are going to be helping us learn how to trade. Because remember, in the summer boot camp, you get 3 dedicated days to learn from them, ask questions, work with them. Right now, S&P 500 traders starting to get a little bit weaker, back on down towards around that 522-ish mark. 522.40. Let's see if again 522.40 we can drop. S&P 500. Let's see if we can get a nice hard red candle. Give us a nice hard red candle. Give us that fade. Give us that weakness. Give us that drop. Give us that opportunity that we can get a bounce play. So keep on going now. Come on, let's see if we can go all the way back on down to 522.40. 522.40. Pull the trigger, guys. So at this moment, S&P 500 finally starting to get a little bit weaker. We are starting to get a couple little red candles. Let's see if we can drop all the way back on down towards the low 522s. 522.40 is your highest entry that you should have on this. We want to see this fade. We want to see this drop. We want to see this crack all the way back on down and then get entries low, low, low. Lower the better. That means 522.40, 522.10, 522.05. Right, traders? There's nothing wrong with going all the way back on down towards around this VWAP. That's what we're looking for. Lower and closer to the VWAP, the better. So the lower and the closer to the VWAP, the better the opportunity for us. So we're still fading. Come on, keep going a little bit more. 522.60 we got down towards. Can we get a couple more red candles here? As we again, got bounce play opportunity. We want to go a little bit lower here. 49. Come on, very close. 49, 40. Come on. 522.40 is your highest entry. Now again, it should be 522.30, 10, 522, right? The lower it goes, the better here. The absolute low, or again, the VWAP low is 522.20, little heads on up. So 522.20 is the actual VWAP on where we can get a dip buy and bounce off that VWAP area. So you could see blue line from bouncing. You could see that's where it's trying to get a little bit of a bounce right here. And then we also have the VWAP area right around the 522.10 mark in case anyone's looking for a quick little entry right off that area. So if you're in right now, you already have a little bit of a green. You already have a little bit of a bounce. You already have a little bit of a dip buy opportunity for you. Let's see if it's going to go even lower. Come back on down towards that VWAP area. I want to get a low entry. Lower's the better. I love that we have 1 red candle, 2 red candles, 3 red candles. I would rather, again, wait for low entries. If I don't get filled, I don't get filled. I don't lose any money if I don't get filled. But if I do get filled, I want it to be so low that traders say, oh, obviously it's going to bounce there, right? That's what I want. Right now, again, we came on down 522.70. If you're in at 522.40, you could take profits when you have them, or you can hold tight for a little bit. Right now, again, the S&P 500 is sitting right around 522.85. You are getting a nice little 40-cent dip buy from where you have initially got in on this play. S&P 500 here, traders. Still be watching this one. Let's see if we get that nice drop. Let's see if we get that nice fade. I think we're actually going to get a little bit of a crack here. I'm waiting, team. I'm waiting for this thing to drop and get weak. I want to be able to get filled at areas where I say, man, I'm in so low that this is going to definitely get a bounce play. This is going to definitely be a great opportunity for me. If you're in at 522.40 right now, there's no harm in that. You're in the green. You're up in profit. You're probably up $200, $300 off a 30-cent bounce play. little bit of a bounce right there. Traders, if you guys have gotten a little bit of that bounce, congratulations on that. Already, again, nice dip buy, 523.20 now. So, there is a nice little bounce right above the VWAP. Traders, no entries for me right here. No entries. Nice, again, work over on this play. Again, I'm still so pumped with my alerts from 517 all the way up to 523. Even this dip buy right here for the traders that got filled at 522.40, it's now at 523.40. Had a nice downtrend all the way up to 526. Team, what you always have to remember is if you don't get filled, that is no problem. You know why? You don't lose any money. But the thing is, traders, you're learning, you're watching, you're giving it your all, you're gaining experience, you're watching the level 2, you're noticing things out of the chart. I want to trade where when I trade, I only have the option of winning. The odds are so heavily in my favor that I'm going to come out over and over and over and over again. Being able to predict where reversals, where dip buys, where bounces are going to be is so important because that's where you're going to be able to profit. And to be able to say, hey, 517, we're going to get a dip buy and bounce play to 523 is incredible. To say, hey, you know what, we're going to get a dip buy right next to the VWAP is incredible. We want to be able to see this. And guess what? You're going to nail them. You're going to be able to nail them over time. Some of them you might miss out. Some of them you're going to nail right on top. But the things you miss out is you don't lose any money. And when you do nail them, you make big money. So it's a win-win. It's a win-win, guys. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely great job. Traders, we're going to be taking a little break right here as we get ready for lunch hours. It does look like the S&P 500's on a bounce play and looking to get all the way back up towards around 524.50 possibly soon. Go back up to the purple line. As always, team, we're getting ready for our fall time coming on up. Our fall time is my favorite time of trading. We have the summer boot camp. We have the small account challenge. We have the prop firm challenge coming on up. We have 30 days of 10 different mentors teaching you how to trade coming on up here, team. It's going to be locked and loaded every single day. The people that are going to be part of it are going to be on fire. Tomorrow, we are going to be introducing all the mentors. So make sure that you guys are fired up for that. And other than that, team, let's get some lunch hours, and then let's get back to work. You guys already know this. If I see anything whatsoever, I'm jumping back on the mic. If I see a play, if I see a trade, if I enter, I'm not letting you guys go unknown. I will always be transparent. I will show you guys my P&Ls. I'll show you guys exactly what I'm doing live in real time right here. And I hope you guys are having an absolutely fantastic morning, an absolutely fantastic day. As always, Tradecasters popping on off with the best traders around. I love ya. Have a good lunch hours, and I'll see you guys back here in about 2 hours, seeing again what we get this afternoon. It's a full action-packed week, getting ready for a full action-packed summer boot camp. Team, let's do it. Help me wrap this thing on up. You guys know the drill. As always, let's get after it, team, in 3, 2, 1. I love you, and I'll see you guys later on. Thank you so much, team. Get ready for summer boot camp coming up only on Tradecaster.com.
So far removed. You are the one thing in my way. 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 I did it my way, lie way too faced, but in my heart I understand. I made my move, and it was all about you. Now I feel so far removed. You are the one thing in my way. 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 were the one thing in my way. You 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 were the one thing in my way.
You're the first thing I think of when I wake up, but you disappear suddenly as my eyes open up. You're just a memory, you're still real. You're just that one night, one time, you still make me feel like it's real. You're standing right in front of me for real. You're dancing in the sun with me. I can't believe I didn't think of somewhere to stay, and I can't believe I didn't think of somewhere to say that you make me feel like holding on to this feeling, and you make me believe I got you to believe in. I'm on Pacific Coast Highway coasting up to this evening, and then I see you there, and the stereo goes. And the stereo goes. Oh, you know the last thing that I thought is I'd be drawn to your lights. Now I'm following your trail, those dashed white lines. Your name is yesterday, you're still real. You're just that one word, one blur. You still make me feel like it's real. You're standing right in front of me for real. You're dancing in the sun with me. I can't believe I didn't think of somewhere to stay, and I can't believe I didn't think of somewhere to say that you make me feel like holding on to this feeling, and you make me believe I got you to believe in. I'm on Pacific Coast Highway coasting up to this evening, and then I see you there, and the stereo goes. Your bumper, but you ain't mad. Now I'm glad, cause that one night, that one time is still real. One word, one blur, you make me feel like it's real. You're standing right in front of me for real. You're dancing in the sun. I'm on Pacific Coast Highway coasting up to this evening, and then I see you there.
You said that we would always be. Without you, I feel lost at sea. Through the darkness, you'd hide with me. Like the wind, we'd be wild and free. You said you'd follow me anywhere. But your eyes tell me you won't be there.
You to stay, but I tell you to go. I know that I need you, but you'll never know. It may be too obvious, but can't you see? You take me to places I don't wanna leave. When it hits me in slow motion, then it's right where I belong. It runs deeper than an ocean, and we've only just begun. When I'm underneath the surface, will you ever let me go? This could be fairly strong or deeper than. The breath in between. The minute you stay and the second you leave. When it hits me in slow motion, then it's right where I belong. It runs deeper than an ocean, and we've only just begun. When I'm underneath the surface, will you ever let me go? stop the world tonight. Just wanna lay down and feel your body close to mine. All I wanna hear you say is that we're never gonna leave this place. But if we ever fade away, I hope you know I'm feeling so high when we're together. Yeah, let's make it last forever. We'll stay young, stay young. We are the perfect lovers. Don't care about the others. I wanna stay young, stay young with you. I wanna stay young. Hey now, we are young and wild and free. Just wanna shake hands. All the love inside of me, underneath the golden sky. We sit and watch the evening tide. I see the fire in your eyes, and I gotta say, I'm feeling so high when we're together. Yeah, let's make it last forever. We'll stay young, stay young. We are the perfect lovers. Don't care about the others. I wanna stay young, stay young with you. I wanna stay I'm feeling so high when we're together. Yeah, let's make it last forever. I wanna stay young, stay young with you.
Once upon a younger year, when all our shadows disappeared, the animals inside came out to play. Went face to face with all our fears, learned our lessons through the tears, made memories we knew would never fade. One day my father, he told me, son, don't let it slip away. He took me in his arms, I heard him say, when you get older, your wild heart will live for younger days. Think of me if ever you're afraid. He said one day you'll leave this world behind, so live a life you will remember. My father told me when I was just a child, these are the nights that never die. My father told me. Start pouring down, light a fire they can't put out, carve your name into those shining stars. He said go venture far beyond the shores, don't forsake this life of yours, I'll guide you home no matter where you are. One day my father, he told me, son, don't let it slip away. When I was just a kid I heard him say, when you get older your wild heart will live for younger days. Think of me if ever you're afraid. He said one day you'll leave this world behind, so live a life you will remember. My father told me when I was just a child, these are the nights that never die. My father told me. You tasted the pain of losing someone who could change. Don't even look back at this wasted moment's time. Your heart true ain't what it used to be. She's not to blame, you shoot the tree. You watch it fall as you could see. You stop the game. You tasted the pain of losing someone who could change. Don't even look back at this wasted moment's time. Your heart true ain't what it used to be. She's not to blame, you shoot the tree. You watch it fall as you could see. You start the game. Can stay for years, crying all your tears. Move you freaking eyes, forget.